allowing us to go in depth into the issues that are spiritual, that may have an impact in our life. Lord, just whatever your will is, reveal it to us. In Jesus' name, amen. It's assumption number 11. We're on our way to number 12. We're finishing this section of Sunday school next week, this particular topic. And in case you guys didn't know, the topic is about 12 Christian beliefs that drive you crazy, or that can drive you crazy. There's actually this book on that. 12 Christian beliefs that can drive you crazy. Relief from false assumptions. So, it's by Henry Cloud and Townsend. So you're probably familiar. If you listen to the radio, you hear it speak once in a while. And it's good because in a way this work is more of an integration between psychology and theology. So it makes it, I guess, more relevant in that sense. Especially, I guess, in the culture today, psychology is very popular. It's out there. Doesn't mean it's, I mean, psychology or whatever other things, our belief is it comes from God. It's more about learning what's in the psyche. So it's okay, it doesn't mean we're less spiritual because we're using psychology. But there are assumptions that there are myths that we're sort of reviewing. One of them is, this is already the 11th, next week is the last one. It says, if I'm spiritual enough, I will have no pain or sinfulness. Have you guys heard this before? Or does it seem common sense that it's not true? Or do you think it's true? I don't know. I just wanted to ask you that first. What do you guys think?
Definitely not true.
Definitely not true. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not true. But I've heard it.
But you've heard it, yeah.
Yeah. I think some people think that.
Okay. And so it seems like it's easy and upfront that it's easy to think that, this is a myth. But as we go deeper, you can see why people might think that way. This is just to explain it more, If you study the Bible, if you obey the Bible diligently, try to make all the right choices, you sat with the best Bible teachers, including Chuck Swindoll. If you prayed for the longest time, would that guarantee that you have no pain or sinfulness? So just to expand the question, you've done everything right. Does that mean no pain or no sin?
But if you study the Bible, wouldn't you know that people in the Bible still had pain when they
Still have pain.
they were still had they still did sinful things.
Jesus had pain.
Okay. In other words, here's where some people go. If you have your spiritual life all put together and you still experience pain and sin, some people might ask, does that mean God has abandoned me? Should I do something different spiritually to remedy the situation? Or what if some people think am I being punished? Do you think some people think that way?
Yeah.
In a way, right?
I think everybody can feel that way at times.
At times, yeah.
I think sometimes you do. Sometimes I feel that way.
Is God punishing me for?
I know it's not true.
Yeah, but sometimes that can happen, right?
Yeah, but sometimes it just, what did I do
In terms of, right, that's what you
kind of
feel.
say to yourself, what did I do to get this, to feel this way?
I feel more like God just allowed it to happen. It's not like He punishes us, but He allows it to happen. It might be the other side, like evil that tries to, attack you. Sometimes God just allows it, because God does allow that to the degree that you can still bear it,
Okay.
And I always wondering, what is the purpose that God allowed it to happen? He has something in mind. He wants me to do something with this suffering.
Yeah.
But for an example, like he always forget things. And if it's just like pray and God gonna let me find it every single time, and like, will you ever learn to put it in a place that you will find it? You know, and like if he allows us to always find it, we never learn to put things in the place that we can find it.
Yeah, I think he's trying to teach us something sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
sometimes, or even to learn how to appreciate things.
Okay, so we have our certain ways of thinking.
We don't appreciate things until we got bad things happen. Then you
Some people
appreciate
take
it.
things for granted.
So here they're saying some of the two options people do are, try harder, try to get more spiritual, or they give up. They say, I'll forget it. And then what you're describing is a third way. You're like reframing, what could God be doing? But anyhow, these are some of the options they're saying. But here is the Bible example of stuff happening, even if they're doing all the right things. Job. Possessions were stolen and destroyed. His servants murdered. Children crushed to death under a collapsed house. His body was covered with unbearable kind of type sores. And the Bible said he was doing everything right. He's a righteous man. So how could God allow that to happen? How could he suffer this pain? So that's a good Bible example of that.
That gives you another thing. Sometimes you say, testing me.
The other option.
It's to see that I can endure.
But in one thing there,
Oh,
I was going to say that in this book of Job, God allowed that to happen to Job, so he could prove that Job to Satan that Job will always be loyal to him, and we always have faith in him.
okay, we're going to the punchline of the book, so that's good. Job, he actually wished to die. He said, I prefer strangling in death rather than this body of mine, because he was aching and pain all over, in addition to emotional pain from everything he lost. But we all know about the friends, right? Job's friends, they came out to comfort him. So part of what they're saying is, should not your piety be your confidence and your blameless ways your hope? Meaning, aren't you right in what you do and blameless? So isn't that something you can be hopeful for? So consider now, who being innocent has ever perished? Where were the upright destroyed? So it means what they're saying is, God will protect you from pain if you're really a holy person. Meaning, if you're spiritually right, God will make sure you're not in pain. Another one. Does God pervert justice? Does the Almighty pervert what is right? When your children sinned against Him, He gave them over to the penalty of their sin, meaning God crushed them under the house. But if you will look to God and plead with the Almighty, if you're pure and upright, even now He will rouse Himself on your behalf and restore you to your rightful place. Meaning, you sinned, but if you're good, God will bring you back. The way things are, if you're good, you won't hurt anymore. So that's some of the stuff the friends are saying. So in a way, that belief has been around for ages. That if you're spiritually all right, you're not supposed to suffer pain. Not supposed to. And here's more. Yet if you devote your heart to Him and stretch out your hands to Him, if you put away the sin that is in your hand and allow no evil to dwell in your tent, then you will lift up your face without shame and you will stand firm and without fear. You will surely forget your trouble, recalling it only as waters gone by. Again, it's about trying to pour your heart out to God, and just for the purpose of relieving or taking away that pain, because that's your belief. Just because you're righteous, it's going to go away. So yield now and be at peace with him, thereby good will come to you. Please receive instruction from his mouth and establish his words in your heart. So, for pain, you need to yield to God and study his word. Now, doesn't sometimes we say, if you keep doing this, you will be blessed. But what if it doesn't happen? Sometimes you hear that. I mean, it's possible. But that could be in our psyche sometimes, and it's natural, to feel that way.
Kind of reminds me of that story, the lost son.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the big brother. When he did all things like according to his dad's will or stuff like that, but later, after his younger brother came back, it felt like it's not fair that he was with his dad for the whole time, but the father still forgives him and feel like nothing had happened. I'm sorry, I don't know. I just thought about that story.
Okay. You were doing your stream of consciousness. All right.
Right, there's expectation. If I do good, I will receive good things.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So it's not pretty straightforward, right? I mean, a lot of us in our hearts do feel that way, right? We do good, we kind of think we are going to get blessed.
Right. And I think there's this Non's friend in Thailand. He was a Christian, and then he took a test that he wanted to for the university that he wanted to attend, but when he took the test and he failed, he kind of blamed God, and then he stopped being a Christian just for that, because he had an expectation that if he's a Christian, God will always gonna
give you what you want.
Right.
And I'm not meaning to say God will never bless us if we do what's right, and because that happens too. It could go both ways.
I just feel that you have to have trust in God. You never know that if God let you be in the position you're at, because He might have a bigger plan for you in the future.
Perspective, yeah.
He doesn't give you what you want, He gives you what you need.
Because God has the better perspective than what we have. And so what we think is right for us may not be.
It might not be today, tomorrow. It might be like 10 years.
So that makes sense. So we will have sin and pain within ourselves and others in the world around us every day. Last week that was painful. Just watching TV and all that. Even if we have regular daily devotions, even if we go to church twice on a Sunday, it does not exclude us from problems and pain, not just in ourselves, in our community, but everywhere. We see that. So what Christians try to do if they don't owe their pain and suffering, meaning some Christians don't own it, meaning there's pain, but they're like, no, I'm not in pain. I'm not supposed to feel bad. Even if things are going on, the burden is heavy. I'm okay, kind of thing. So what they do is, in general, some Christians have ways of handling these negative feelings, although these are not good ways of handling negative feelings. If something bad happens to you, you could be, number one, you could be in denial. You could say, it's not really happening. And if you don't admit that something wrong is happening, it can actually cause depression, anxiety. You can judge people, you criticize other people for things that are happening.
That's good. If he never admit that you have like negative feeling and you're never wrong, you're the righteous one, like why do you need God?
True. That's another way of looking at it.
But they're talking about pain and suffering, and you deny, I sometimes do this.
Really?
Well, I mean, not all the time, I try to, sometimes, my daughter says I do, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You say everything's okay, it's not.
No, that's what your daughter says.
You're always saying, it's fine, I'll be fine, you'll be fine.
But
But I know it's not. Stop
okay.
doing that. Like, you know what I mean? When you're,
Yeah,
you're
That's
you're
kind of
not
different
feeling
though.
good, or you're.
For me, I feel the same way. I might be like that. Like, oh, when I tell other people that I'm okay, so just because I don't want them to worry
Yeah.
about me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
Yeah,
to
well,
God, you can never lie to God. So, I probably lie to people, say they won't worry about me, but with God,
Okay.
Yeah, because you kind of feel like it's,
that's a good thing about being Christian. You always have God.
You can pray to.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
always
you
know
can
that.
lie and then. No, I'm just kidding. but I get your point. Yeah, you can. That's
So
it.
you always have hope.
So that's not real denial because you know it. Unlike if you're unconsciously trying to suppress whatever bad feelings you have, and that's in a way denial. A second way they try to deal with it if you don't own pain and suffering is works. You work harder. But whatever emotion is under there, it's still there. So I don't know. You know people who do this, like they try harder, but deep down inside they're very resentful of the pain and whatever suffering they're going through. I mean that can happen. So it's just all about working harder. You're not denying it, but you're in a way covering it up. A third way is the law. You feel guilty about it, you condemn it, you get angry, so you're forced. You kind of use it as an ammunition to force yourself to change away from the pain and suffering. But using guilt, I think we dealt this weeks back before. It's not the best way because we're free from condemnation. It has no place in our life. Feeling condemned. So that's a totally different topic that we talked about earlier. But overall, if you believe that you shouldn't be experiencing pain and suffering, the fallout is bad fruit. You feel like you're a failure. You waste a lot of energy. You hide your feelings of pain and suffering, so you don't need